I have a little dream of playing position 4 maybe a couple times in my career. I think another hobby would be eating food. I'd love to go and possibly win a championship there. It took us a little time to get to know each other, and new coach and new players, and it takes time. And so I was always playing with people who were older than me and against girls who were bigger than me. I love like Medjimik, and just all the soup is just so good. I want to keep learning from people who are the best. It wasn't even my country, but I was getting goosebumps. I've played a couple times and played a couple games where I feel like that trust is broken. Zay will always take his phone and show whoever's DJ and say, please play this one. So I was just walking and Shakira, Shakira, and it's just... I played against her and she digs me all the time, and so it's frustrating. I can't promise I won't change my dream team, but...
Hello Kiera, welcome.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I am fine too, thank you. Let me start with my first question. Can you tell us a little bit about your encounter with volleyball? How did you start?
Yes, I was around 9 years old. I started playing sports from maybe 3 or 4. I started with gymnastics, skating, swimming, and then I started soccer and softball or baseball when I was 5, and volleyball around 9. And I started watching my sisters play. I have 2 older sisters, and I watched them play in tournaments and games, and I would always beg my dad or anybody who was there to play with me in between sets or when there's timeouts. And eventually my mom and dad decided to put me into 2 times a week, I think. When I was 9, I would learn how to play volleyball. I didn't play games, but I would just touch and learn the technique and have fun. And the next year I started to play my first year of actual volleyball, playing games, and I played with girls who were 2 years older, 1 year older, but we were too young to play any like league or club games because there's no other teams that are our age. And so we had to play for the year above. So I was playing against girls who were 2 years older. And then after this, I played against girls, or with girls that were a year older than me. And I did this until I went to college. So I was always playing with people who were older than me and against girls who were bigger than me. And so, yeah, I just learned to play with people who weren't like me in my age. And I learned to love the game through that and through watching my sisters play. I also was coached by my dad when I was young. He coached me for many years in club and also in high school, so that was a really cool opportunity for me as well.
How was the interest in your country to volleyball?
Definitely different than Turkey. I've seen it grow more and more as I've grown older. We don't have professional volleyball. We don't really have professional women's sports in Canada. We're starting to have a hockey league now for women, but professional sport isn't really accessible to women yet. It's coming, but I think as I grow older, I get to see the love for sport for girls and women, and for me that's so exciting to see. And I was lucky I was able to play sports through my whole life, but volleyball when I was younger wasn't as exciting and big as it is now, I would say. I think also in the US, because we're so close to America, we see that women's university sport is growing, and now they have professional leagues there, and so I think this is also leaking into Canada, and so girls are getting more and more excited to play.
Was it your own decision to be an opposite?
Actually, no. I've played left side or position 4 for majority of my career growing up. Played setter for my first year ever, and then I was changed to playing outside. And in college, my 2 years, I played left side. But when I played my first season with national team, the coach decided that he wanted me to play opposite, and so from then on, I took that path, and I do miss my position 4. I love playing in 4. It's so fun for me, but I'm known as an opposite, and I obviously love to play opposite as well, but I have a little dream of playing position 4 maybe a couple times in my career, but yes.
So we can tell you can receive?
I'm okay. I'm not, I need practice. I used to, and when I played VNL my first season in the bubble, I played both opposite and position 4 because Alexa Gregg was injured, and so we needed somebody to play position 4, and so I kind of was able to flip between the two, and that was really fun for me.
You did not have a very good start to the season with your team, but you started to improve and slowly approaching to our target point. How would you comment on your own performance and the current situation of the team?
Yeah, obviously everybody knows we didn't start the way that anybody on the team wanted us to. Losing our Sev match and losing a couple crucial games in the first half was not exactly making our path easy to where we are now. It took us a little time to get to know each other, and new coach and new players, and it takes time. And I think we've started to find a little bit more rhythm with each other and a little bit more cohesion on the court and off the court with the girls. And so I think we're starting to go in the direction that we need to go. And yeah, obviously we're disappointed we weren't able to be in the Sev Cup, and that was a goal of ours to win that. And so once we lost that, we had to change our mindset and go for the next thing, and that's the league and the Turkish Cup. And now we're fighting for top 4, and we're sitting there, but we can't be too careful. Obviously Kuzey Boru is right behind us, and so we need to be smart in how we play the next few games.
Like when I asked this question to Dicle a couple of weeks ago, right before the second period started, she said you will see a better Türk Hava Yolları. And now I am asking you, right before like the Kupa Voley and the league finals, what should we expect from Türk Hava Yolları in the Kupa Voley and the league in the final 4?
Yes, I mean, I'm excited. I think we have an opportunity to, obviously we're playing against some great teams and they have great players and experience, but I'm excited for the opportunity that we have. The cup is 2 matches, and if we can beat one team one time and do that 2 times, we can win the cup. And obviously it's not going to be an easy challenge, but I think this is something that I personally, and I think the girls as well, are working towards, and I really want to win a cup for the team, and I think we have an opportunity possibly to do that this year, and that's what I've been working towards the last couple of weeks as well, is winning the games in the league that we need to win, but also working towards winning a cup for the team.
What are your thoughts about the Sultanlar Ligi and the level of the league?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I've been here for almost 3 years now. I think Italy and Turkey are 2 of the top leagues in the world, and they're great players in both leagues. I chose to come back because the league is a high level, and I want to prepare myself as best I can for the upcoming summer with qualifications and Olympics, and I wanted to pick a league that would help me do that, and I believe that the Turkish league, the Sultan League, is a way for me to be prepared for that. There are great players, and I love the country as well, so I'm happy to be here.
As we talk about Sultanlar Ligi, we know that your contract is over with Türk Hava Yolları this year. Are we going to continue to see you in Sultanlar Ligi next year?
Right now, I'm really focusing on this season. I don't want to focus too much on next season. I want to focus on doing the best this year and this upcoming summer, and that will prepare me best for next season wherever I am.
You work with one of the best coaches in the world, Roberto. Is it difficult to work with him, or how is your communication?
Yes, of course. I mean, he's a great coach. He has won multiple medals at the Olympics and has great experience. It takes time to get to know your new coach, and I've only had a couple coaches in my career professionally. I've had a lot of the same coaches, and so for me it takes a little time to understand communication and how people work together, and I think it took a little bit of time, but now we are understanding each other, and yeah, I'm learning from him, and I'm learning from the players that he gets to coach as well. And if I can take 1 or 2 pieces from every coach that I'm with or learning from, I'm like so excited, because I always want to be learning. I don't want to just stop at one point in my career and be like, okay, I've learned enough, I'm okay. I want to keep learning from people who are the best, and he obviously has such good experience and quality of knowledge, and so I'm happy to be learning from him.
And your national team's head coach Shannon Winzer recently came to Turkey and held meetings with Canadian players and important names of the volleyball world. What did you talk when you came together?
Yes, she was here a little while ago. She got to meet with Alexa Gray, and she was working with a past men's head coach of the Canadian men's team. And so we got to catch up over a lunch. What we talked about was a little bit of everything. We're talking about the podcast we're listening to. We're talking about what we're learning right now, and her experience learning from Glenn Hogue, who's coaching down in Arcus, who was the men's coach. And we talked about what the summer will look like and about how I'm feeling and physically and how we're going to get to the Olympics, and just a little bit of everything, and reconnecting and making sure that we have a good line of communication and a relationship going into the summer.
You have a big summer ahead, and Canada's Olympic target continues. What does Olympic means to you, and how do you see your chances to be in Paris 2020?
Yes, the Olympics is something special. I mean, it's an event with all of the best athletes in the world, and I mean, I would watch it as a kid. I would watch Winter Olympics and I would watch Summer Olympics, and the Winter Olympics were held in Canada in 2010. And I got to go and be around the culture and the environment of the Olympics just because I was in the city. And at that point, I really didn't know that I would have the opportunity to fight for the Olympics. But as I've grown in volleyball and been on the national team, I felt that dream come closer and closer. And this year, it's just at the tip of our fingertips, and I'm so excited. I think we are fighting for almost the last spot. If you look at the numbers, there's one last spot that is up for grabs right now, and it's between us and the Netherlands, and we have a 20 or 22 point difference in the world ranking, and so we're close. And I think we have some great players on our team getting some great experience. We have Alexa Gray and Emily Maglio playing here in Turkey, and we have our setter playing down in Brazil, and a couple girls in Germany or Poland, and so we're starting to get more girls playing in leagues that are making them better and coming back stronger. Yeah, I'm just excited that we are getting the experience that we need professionally and coming back in the summer. I'm excited for what we can do, and I have hope that we will be there. And yeah, right now, obviously I'm trying to focus on being here and present and doing what I can for Turkish Airlines to get a cup and do what we need to do. But in the back of my head, there's always the motivation is almost deeper than that, which obviously helps playing here, because my motivation is to be as best as I can every day here, but also with the motivation of knowing that I want to go to the Olympics, and this is like really important to me, so I'm excited.
When you look at the opposite competition in the world, how do you position yourself in the competition, and which features do you think you stand out the most?
Yeah, that's a difficult question. There's some amazing athletes who are in the volleyball world, and especially in my position. I mean, you look at some of the top players. You have Boskovic, you have Vargas, you have Bella Hack, Egonu, Jordan Thompson. There's just so many players out there who are great players, and I have never really considered myself in the same boat as them, but I think it's something that I'm striving towards, is to be at the level that I need to be the top in the world. And I think one thing that stands out about me would be I maybe am not the biggest or the highest jumper, or I maybe can't hit over top like a lot of these girls can, but for me, my skill and what I've tried to create as my game is hitting the shot that I need to hit and making the right decision when I need to make it. And so maybe that's not hitting every ball at 100%. Maybe it's tipping a ball or rolling a ball or hitting block out, or making a choice that maybe is not the flashy choice, but something that can either create trouble for the other team in that moment, so we get a good ball back, or maybe it's just putting a tip where I think that maybe the opposite can't get to, or somebody else can't get to. And I think that's where my game is going to take me to the next level, is when I can really hone in the right moments to make those decisions. And I think I've started to do that a little bit more this year. And yeah, I'm trying to create my own game while learning from the top opposites in the world.
You have worked with many important coaches so far. What was the most constructive criticism you heard for yourself from the coaches?
I think, yeah, I've had some great coaches over the years. But one thing that stuck out was actually from my college coach, which was maybe 5-6 years ago. And it was one of the last meetings that I had with him in the season. I think it was right before we were going into playoffs. And he basically sat me down and said, like, your greatest strength is your greatest weakness, and that is that you're really hard on yourself. And he's basically saying to me, you're so hard on yourself, which makes you good because you are willing to change and you understand that making this error or doing this thing maybe isn't the perfect choice, but also so I'm able to get better through that because I'm learning and trying to change and be the best person I can or player I can be. But also if I let that go too far, then I'm never content or never actually being okay with what I've done and never thinking on the positive side. And so he said you need to be able to balance that out, and I think that's really stuck with me over the last couple of years.
Among the setters you have played with so far, who do you think you get along with the best?
Ooh, that's a good question. I would say get along with, I've connected really well with Sila this year. I feel like we've found a way to work with each other and help each other on the court. Maybe when we're struggling, we're finding that balance. So I really enjoy playing with her. I also really enjoyed playing with Lauren Carlini. I think mostly I really appreciated how her work ethic and how competitive she was, and just the drive that she had every day in the gym was a good thing for me to see as a young athlete, what it takes to be a professional athlete. She was really good for me to be around.
What do you believe the relationship between a setter and an opposite should be like?
Yeah, the first word that comes to mind would be trust. Opposites often get the game ball or the balls in the difficult situations, and I think if that trust is not there, it's difficult to find what you need to find to get the point. And I've played a couple times and played a couple games where I feel like that trust is broken, and it's really difficult to be able to communicate on what you need in that moment or what we can do better. And so if you can have that communication and that trust between each other, it makes it so much easier for you to be able to work together to find the solution that we need to find.
Is there a championship or a title that you definitely want to win before you finish your career?
Ooh. At the moment, I think before a championship, or I guess before is not maybe the right word, but the thing that's on the forefront of my mind is to qualify for the Olympics. It's not a championship, it's not a trophy, but it's a dream that I've had for a long time, and so this would be probably the biggest idea in my mind right now. I would love to compete in Champions League again. I would love to go far in Champions League. I've competed twice and been out pretty soon, and so I'd love to go and possibly win a championship there. And of course, this year, Turkish Cup or Turkish League championship would be amazing as well.
Now I want to talk about your daily life a little bit. Do you keep in touch with the other Canadian athletes who play in Turkey, Emily Maglio and Alexa Gray?
Yes, being on 3 different teams with 3 different schedules obviously it's difficult to find time, but I've been able to see them a couple times. It's nice to be able to reconnect and have dinner with girls that you've known for a couple years and feel like home, and so typically we'll just grab dinner and reconnect and talk, and yeah, it's very nice to have girls who feel like home so close to you. To me, living here in Istanbul.
What do you enjoy doing in your day offs in Istanbul?
Ooh, it depends. I kind of have two different ones. When I'm pretty tired, I really enjoy going for a good breakfast and maybe a couple walks with my dog. I really enjoy walking along the water and grabbing coffee and just having a relaxing day, enjoying the great food that is here in Istanbul. And then when I'm feeling like I have a little bit of energy to do so, I enjoy going My friends were here recently, and so I got to do a couple more touristy things or explore more of the culture, or maybe some like forest walks or something. But I enjoy kind of both sides of it, depending on how tired I am.
You had a trip to Istanbul in 2018 with your team. Can you compare the Istanbul you saw that day with the Istanbul you saw after 3 years you spent here?
Yes, 2018 was my first year playing with the national team, and so I think I was a little bit like a deer in the headlights. Everything was so new to me. I had never seen international volleyball. I'd never traveled for volleyball outside of Canada or the US, and so I think that first summer was very eye-opening for me. And we were here for only about 3 or 4 days, I think. And so for me, it was kind of like, I don't actually know what's going on. We got to go for a little trip to the Hagia Sophia and got to have some food around there. But other than that, it was very volleyball focused. And so coming back, I didn't really know exactly what to expect coming back. But when I returned, I realized that we played and trained in Burhan Felek, which is where my home team is, and I started to recognize things, and it was kind of full circle for me, being my first year of national team, traveling to Istanbul, and then coming here and playing for a professional team. I started to kind of feel excited, and I almost felt a little bit at home because I'd already been here for a couple of days. And so yeah, it was really nice to come back and be like, oh, I've walked this street before, and I've played in this gym before, and now it's my home gym. And over the last 3 years, I've got to see more of Istanbul and more in Turkey, and I really enjoy being here. And I think being here for 3 years, it kind of shows how much I love to play here and live here.
So were there any new habits or hobbies you made in Turkey during this period?
Well, when I first came to Turkey, it was my first year of having my dog, and so that was a big change for me, is having a lifestyle change of having a dog. And now I really enjoy going for walks. It's a great mental release for me, and it's time for me to just be present and to be outside. And it's maybe not so much of a hobby, but it's been really nice to be able to also explore different places of Istanbul that I wouldn't have if I didn't have my dog. I really love to enjoy the food here. This is one thing that I've started to enjoy more as I've lived here for longer, trying new foods, and I'm starting to enjoy foods that I hadn't enjoyed before. And so I think another hobby would be eating food, which is funny, but yeah, I really enjoy the food that I've had here.
Do you have a favorite food in Turkey?
Oh, that's very difficult. I think last year I probably would have said breakfast, but this year I'm really loving soup. I love like mercimek, and just all the soup is just so good.
Is there any celebrity or actress, singer lookalike of you?
I don't know if I have one that I look alike, but I've definitely had a couple times when I was walking through the bazaar when people are trying to get my attention, and they'll start shouting out female actresses. And one that happened recently was I was being called Shakira. So I was just walking and Shakira, Shakira, and it's just, for me it's so funny because it's also so similar to my name. So it's like, you're kind of right, but yes, so.
And finally, I want you to create a dream team that includes you, with the players actively playing.
Oh no. There are just so many good players in each position. I think I would want to pick like 4 for each position. I'm just bring them all for my team. If I were to pick liberos, I think I would pick Brenda Castillo or Monica De Janeiro. I think they're both very, very talented. I've only played against Brenda, and so maybe I would pick her just because I played against her and she digs me all the time, and so it's frustrating. I think one outside would have to be Gabby. Oh, so difficult. I need a list of all of the players so I can remember.
Okay, setter.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be someone you played against or you played with.
I feel like the typical answer right now is Volush. Maya also has been there as well. I've never played with Jansu or Alif. Both of them are great setters as well, so it's so difficult. I don't know. I think maybe who I'd want to play with would be Jordan Poulter. I think she's, obviously an injury is so difficult, but I think I love how she's so physical and she like has the speed and the height that I would love to play with. I think maybe she would be my pick right now.
You need another
outside.
Yes.
Can I pick? It's difficult because Kelsey is very similar to Gabby, and so maybe you, in like they're both very talented and ball control is so good. Kelsey or also Alexa, I like. She's been so reliable for us at national team, so it's hard to pick. Okay, middles. For middles, I'll pick Chiaka and Carol.
If you want to play the position 4 in the dream team, you can put an opposite to that team.
Oh, if I could play position 4, I think I would pick me position 4 and Gabby position 4 and Bella. I really like how Bella plays as a athlete. Her attitude and the style of how she plays, I really enjoy watching that.
Now I have short questions.
Okay.
The most memorable match of your career?
I think maybe 2. My first match ever with national team, I didn't know I was starting. I didn't know I was going to be playing. I didn't know I was going to travel. I started practicing with the team and we had our photo shoot and I just kind of showed up in my Canada gear. They're like, okay, take a picture in your jersey. I was like, I don't have a jersey. Like, what are you talking about? And then they gave me my first jersey and then a couple weeks I was told I was traveling and then the game started and they're like, why aren't you going? Like, this is your first, like, you're starting. I think for me it was kind of eye-opening and exciting. I had probably my best serving game of my career in my first match playing internationally, but I think that's just really memorable for me because I didn't really know what international volleyball was and I was kind of thrown into it, but I was just so young and so excited and I was just so happy to be there, and so that would be one. And my other one would probably have to be in 2022, I think, World Championships in Poland. We played Poland in Poland and I think it was maybe 10 or 11,000 people in the stands, and I just remember hearing them sing their national anthem, and it wasn't even my country, but I was getting goosebumps because they were all just so together as a country, and we got to play in their country with everyone, and we lost in 5, but for me, that was just such a cool memory to experience the love that a country can have for a sport, and that's one day I hope that Canada can love volleyball that much.
A motivational phrase you tell to yourself? I
don't know if I have a phrase, but what I've been kind of talking to myself and reminding myself of lately is to like be better every day. And so if that's like 1% just to increase either in knowledge, learning something, or in volleyball, is just to be better every day.
Which player do you have the most difficult time playing against?
Playing against? I mean, something that's fresh in my mind would be our second last game against Vakif. Gabby had a really good game, and for me in blocking, I was really struggling to find the way to stop her. And so right now, I think Gabby is the first name that comes to mind.
Who is a teammate you get along with the best in Turkish Airlines?
I think every year I've started to create a friendship on the team, and I would say my closest friend this year would be Julia. It's really nice to have somebody who you can hang out with and connect with off the court, and this year has been Julia and also a little bit with Auntie as well.
You went to Greece with Julia, right?
Yes, Julia and my friend, and also Mela and Sila were also in Greece, and Auntie. So there was a group, but most of my time was with Julia and my friend from home.
How was Greece, by the way?
Very nice. It was very beautiful, and the sun was out, and I was very happy.
An athlete you admire?
An athlete. I think volleyball players. I love how Bella plays. I said that before. I've never played with her. Obviously, we're the same position. It's hard to play together, but it always seems from the outside that she is like positive and she'll try every ball. She wants to help her team, and it seems like her attitude is such an amazing attitude to have on the court. and she's a great volleyball player as well. And also Gabby, I think, as an athlete, she's probably like one of the perfect athletes. She seems so level-headed and very mindful on the court and a great leader, and she's an amazing player as well. So I think those two would kind of be my favorites right now.
Finishing the match with a serve or a block?
I would have to say block. I think block is just so exciting. It just, you feel it right there. With serve, it would also be amazing to have an ace to win, but I think the block is just, it's so in your hands, you know? It's literally in your hands and you feel it, and just landing after a big block is just, it's something that you can do together with your team, and it's so exciting.
And my last question, do you know any Turkish songs?
I don't know the name, but Zay loves one song and it's always playing in practice or games, and I have no idea what it's called, but they play it every day, and that's probably the only song I know.
You can sing it and we can find it.
I don't even know. I don't know. I only know the, like, when it plays, I'm like, that's the song. It's the first song. Zay will always take his phone and show whoever's DJ and say, please play this one. He loves this song. Yes, I think so. Yes.
This is the song.
I think so, yes.
Yeah, they play the song in your games?
It's Zay's favorite, I think. Yes.
Thank you for everything.
Yes, you're welcome. Thank you for having me. I can't promise I won't change my dream team, but I'm still not sure. I need a list of all the players so I can pick.
Next year we will give you a list.
Okay.
And you will
and I can look. Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.